The sky cracked with fury. Wind howled across the scorched land, where two forces stood face to face, each a reflection of the other's will. On one side, the crew of the Fracture, glowing with the combined light of their stones. On the other, Thorn Drexel's Dark Legion, twisted by the hunger for dominion. Thorn stepped forward, his eyes like black embers, face cold as rusted steel, shadows curled around him like living smoke. "You're too late," he growled. "The seal is weakening, this world will kneel." Kael Virek said nothing, he didn't have to. The wind moved when he shifted. His feet dug into the earth as if rooting himself to the very soul of the planet. The others stood at his side, Selene, radiant and focused, green energy pulsing like the sun through her veins. Rian, eyes glowing blue, hands arcing with crackling waves of force. Beside them, Vex, wrapped in copper light, and Kael's youngest ally, silent but burning with power no one had yet named. Thorn lifted his hand, his crew surged forward. Jaws of war snapped open. Kael launched first, colliding with a brute twice his size. He twisted midair, unleashing a pulse of golden light that blasted his opponent backward, rolling like a dropped thundercloud. Selene shot high, spiraling in bursts of blinding green, diving down to protect Rian as black-tethered hounds lunged from the enemy's flank. Vex blinked across the battlefield, teleporting faster than the eye could follow. Every time one of Thorn's lieutenants swung, he was gone, replaced by a burst of heat and a disorienting pop. He reappeared above them, slamming both fists down, erupting the ground like glass under a hammer. Thorn remained still, watching, waiting. Kael collided with him. Their fists met midair, two opposite forces, one born of corruption, the other carved from sacrifice. The sound shattered the silence across miles. They skidded backward, each digging trenches into the earth. "You still don't get it," Thorn hissed, spinning his axe with ease. "Light's too slow, darkness is already here." Kael responded with a glowing strike, lighting the ground beneath him like molten stars. "Then we'll burn through it." Behind them, Selene hovered, both hands glowing as she summoned a solar arc that swept through enemy lines like the tail of a comet. Rian followed, a blur of motion, freezing the battlefield with a mist that slowed enemy blades and let Kael's allies breathe. Then came the twist. Thorn's crew began fusing. 3 of his lieutenants merged into one hulking shadow, massive and snarling, covered in armor that shifted and flexed like a living nightmare. It roared, swatting away Kael's team like toys. Vex grabbed Kael's shoulder. "Now would be a great time to do the thing." Kyle nodded. "Everyone now!" They closed in, 5 of them in a circle, hands out, stones glowing in harmony. A burst of raw light shot into the air as they began to fuse. The child in their group, silent all this time, stepped forward and touched the center of the circle. An ancient symbol exploded from beneath them. The fusion began. Their bodies glowed, merged, rose. Their limbs became one, armor formed of all 5 elements. The Grand Warrior stood tall, face unknown, powered by love, courage, sorrow, and fire. But Thorn smiled. He vanished, instantly behind the warrior, and struck. The Grand Warrior staggered. Thorn had found the weak spot. His blade wasn't just steel, it was laced with the blood of the ancient race, forged to cut through fused light. A fracture formed in the Grand Warrior's chest. The team screamed from within, holding together with will alone. Kael pushed harder, heart beating louder than the thunder in the sky. The child, standing alone now, stepped into the air. With eyes that had seen too much and a smirk that didn't belong on a boy so small, he raised both hands and roared. The battlefield paused, all motion froze. The boy unleashed a laughter so pure, so uncontaminated, it shattered the darkness clinging to the edges of Thorn's army. They screamed, clawing at their faces, shadows peeling off like oil from glass. Kael felt something inside him change. Thorn looked up at the boy, finally shaken. "What are you?" The boy hovered inches from his face. "I'm the spark your darkness couldn't smother." He touched Thorn's forehead, a flash. Silence. When the light faded, Thorn lay unconscious, unmoving, surrounded by the remnants of his crew who were now simply gone. The storm above cleared, the dust settled. The Grand Warrior knelt, fading as the 5 team members separated again. Kael dropped to one knee, panting, heart racing. The boy landed beside him, hugged his waist, and laughed. Kael looked down, smiled, and whispered, "Told you we'd burn through it."